Hey, beautiful people. We are here. We are live. It is MoMon, Unfiltered Conversations with MoMon. My name is Mo, and that's Mon over there. And we're going to be talking about just things, life. Have a little meditation in here, some affirmations in here, and a lot of stuff going on. So, what's your thoughts today? How you feeling? So, first off, let's talk to Melina Mon and ask a little bit about her and how she's doing.
Hey, girl. Hey. Hello, people. Yeah, so I'm doing really good. My name's Melina Mon. I have many names, but that's the one that I'll go by. I am really feeling the energy of what's occurring in the planets right now
Mm,
with the recent closing of this eclipse portal um, and this new kind of energy. There's like 5 aspects in Taurus, which is my birth month. So I'm really feeling good and feeling ready for life, which is kind of awesome because COVID kicked my ass. So, like many people. So, yeah,
yeah.
but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling it. I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about seeing you. I'm really excited about this new venture that we've got going on. Like you said, I have no idea what's gonna happen, but as you know, we've had enough conversations to just be like, "Is someone recording this?" Like, just from the downloads, the insights, the jokes, the real, and yeah, it's let's just see what happens. But yeah, so that's me. Were you asking about, like, me as, like, my background or just,
as,
like, me, like,
as just, I mean, just you in general. I mean, Melina Mon is an amazing healer. She's an all around great friend, daughter, and she's just freaking awesome. And she's a great karaoke singer. And
I don't know about that.
she is, and she's so creative. She's an amazing artist, and I'm just grateful to call her my tribe sister.
Oh,
In
heck
this, yes, in this journey that we're in, Momon. We came together because, like she said, like we are always having conversations and jokes and just just our personalities and in our unique way, and we
yeah.
thought that we might share it with you all in the world and see whether you like it or not, but we're just going to make sure that you hear our voice. That's what we're doing here today.
Sometimes there's some really good insights that we
Yeah,
wanna share.
we
Yeah,
do. We do. We have
and
good insights,
yeah,
good
and
information.
and and thank you for the kind words, Mo, because you're an inspiration and you're a gift to this world.
Oh,
You're an amazing being, such a divine light. You're a energy worker, master, healing, crystal lady, card reading, yoga teaching, badass, interviewing, like, what haven't you done? You know what I mean? Like a mother, a daughter, sister, wife, like friend, and yeah, you're really an incredible person, and I've thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. So I have no idea what's happening, but like usual with spirit, you're not in charge, so might as well just hit record and see what's gonna flow.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I said, this is the first time, so give us grace on this one and this platform. It's the first time I haven't used like the live platform, so it's a little bit different. So we're doing our thing here, and we hope you embrace us, with your love because we're sharing out love today. And also, shout out to all the Tauruses out there. Melina's birthday was just passed not too long ago. Hey, hey, hey! How was that feeling? And you took a little quick little break and stuff. How was that? Little escape, little retreat for yourself. How was that?
Yeah, it was good. I went camping in my good friend's backyard.
Nice,
Hung
nice.
out with a couple of her dogs.
Yes,
Yeah, my girl Tasuma. Maybe we'll interview her sometime. She's fucking amazing too. She's another
nice.
Renaissance woman. Uh, yeah. But yeah, so I got to go and spend some time outdoors. I really just wanted to have some quiet reflection, go inwards, do some writing, get my feet on the earth. A lot of earth.
Yeah.
Ro's a big fan of earth, and she knows what that's about.
Yeah.
I live in Boston, so that does not happen here.
Exactly.
But yeah, the birthday was good. Oh my gosh, so the midnight before, uh, me and Tasuma and a couple of her friends were sitting around the fire, and I made Tasuma a promise. We didn't tell anybody that it was my birthday because it's a loaded time for me.
Yeah.
Mother's Day.
Yeah.
My father passed a few years ago, right
Yeah.
around now. So it's been a little sweet, but a little heavy. So
Yeah.
I purposefully didn't want to do anything, and birthdays aren't about that for me. And
Yeah.
other people's are, but not mine. Um, it's okay. I'm allowed. Um,
Yeah.
but around the fire with these four of us, and
Hmm.
we're the corners. We got the four corners going,
Wow.
and everybody's got their trials and tribulations. Everybody's doing some type of letting go of something, rebirthing something new, like coming up, which is so perfect for this eclipse season that just closed out with the Scorpio eclipse that kind of opened things up last month. And then I believe this most recent eclipse closed it out in was it Aries or Taurus? I can't remember. But so excuse me for that. But with the conversation, I was being all ninja, and like, oh, so like, what intentions do you want to make for this coming year? Like, who do you want to call in that are good people? Because each of us had to let go of someone toxic. Um,
Exactly.
whether it's a relationship, a romanticship, a situationship, a workship, a family ship, whatever. So I was being all sly and trying to get some intention setting and working some magic into the fire right around midnight. And then those ladies all left. They didn't say anything. But Tasuma knew.
Uh-huh.
She could tell what I was doing.
Yeah.
And the next morning, from the embers, I got a brand new fire started. I woke up with dawn. I woke up at like pretty much dawn with
Wow.
the dog, and I was up mad early and stuck another piece of wood in the fire, got a new fire going, sat there with my journal. And it was right around the time that I was born. I finished writing a letter to the universe. The
That's
top half,
beautiful.
everything I want to release, and then the bottom half being everything that I'm inviting and welcoming in,
Wow.
and folded that 3 times towards my heart, burned it in the fire, and really feel like I set some intentions into the universe in a really sweet way. And for being a birthday, non-birthday, it was really exactly what I wanted. So, big
Mhm.
thanks to Suma for hosting me. Big thanks for all the lovely people that are celebrating with and around me, and to all the other Taurians out there. Happy birthday to y'all! Happy birthday
Definitely.
to all of us. It's
Definitely.
our
Definitely shout out to all the Taurians out there. My daughter, she's the May 19th.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's a Taurus too. You guys are very, very loyal, very passionate people.
Mm.
Um, and stubborn at sometimes though, but amazing
Oh yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah. Don't mess with us.
Exactly. Don't piss off a Taurus, man.
Especially not with foolishness. If you got something legit, come at
Exactly.
it. If you're coming at us with integrity, it's all good. But if you're coming with some nonsense,
Exactly. But Tauruses are good loyal friends. Like if you're looking for like a loyal friend, it's definitely a Taurus. Just don't come with the BS, because
no.
they don't play. They don't play at all. So myself, I'm a Pisces and stuff. Big emotions, wearing them on my sleeve. Big emotional case. Not that I set strong boundaries as I got older, right? But before it was like super emotional, crying over like freaking Disney movies and stuff, you know.
Who hasn't? I still do.
I still cry over the Disney movies. I watch like Korean movies and I like start crying. I'm like, why are my eyes watering?
Yeah, those are good too.
So, but before we get deep into it, we want to start this little tradition as we pull an affirmation card because you get a little mix of everything on MoMon, you know, and we're excited once again for you to join us. So let's pull an affirmation for today and see where it guides us. Today's affirmation says, all is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe.
Ooh.
I'm going to read it one more time for those people in the back out there.
Yeah.
All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good things will come. I am safe. That I am safe part is, it's big, right? I am safe. And then, you know, they in the Alchemist it says, you know, when you're working towards, you know, what you want to do, the whole universe will work with you. You know, they're supporting you in your mission or your goal, or your dharma, as they say, your life's purpose.
That's right.
But this feeling safe, right? When we're talking about like the eclipse, when we're letting go of things like the ships, right? It doesn't matter what type of ship. It could be, you know, mother-daughter relationship. It could be friendship. It could be, you know, partnership, whatever situation is. It's hard because you have an attachment to that, right? You have an attachment to that. I know for me recently, I had to let go of a situation where they were still trying to put their claws into me. And it's like, you know, it's hard because, you know, you might have like, you know, emotional investment, but then when you clean off your lenses and realize what these things truly are, then you're like, no, you know, is it really in my best interest?
That's right.
And the question is, are we really safe with the people around us? You know, we really have to start looking at, where do I feel safe to be my honest, true self, besides trying to hide something about myself? So, and
That's
what do
right.
you think about that, Melina?
I think you hit a really good point. You hit several really good points, and this is exactly why we're recording this, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that attachment that you're speaking to, it's like you got to ask yourself a question: are you attached to the person? You know, this being that you want in your life, that you want the best for, and they want the best for you, because that, I think, is a healthy, you know, a standard, you know.
Yes.
But then there's the other question of, are you attached to an idea, the idea that was presented or maybe misrepresented, that
Yes.
as often happens with one-sided relationships, you know, you go into it thinking it's you know, both parties are working on it on a certain level with
Yes.
morality, understanding, you know, like a certain level of commitment and trust and honesty and all that. And then sometime down the line, and this is specifically with unhealthy relationships that need to get released or let go of, there's usually some form of a reckoning of, or a realization, and then you got to reckon with the idea that you've been attached to the idea of the relationship and not the relationship itself or the person that you're in relationship with.
Ooh, that was a word right there.
Right.
Yes.
Because cultivating that safety is so important. And as we've talked about a lot, that first needs to start within yourself, right?
Yes,
But
exactly.
often how we learn about safety is what we're exposed to through our childhood guardians. You know, in an ideal world, we're taught what is safe by mother, daughter, any kind of additional auntie, uncle, grandparents, teachers, and whatnot. And then you realize that we live in late stage capitalism.
Capitalism destroyed everything.
and it's screwing everything up. And there's systemic racism, systemic genderism. There's all sorts of there's this giant con that's being pulled over everybody.
Yes.
So the innocence and that innocent bud of childhood that each of us may ideally
Yes.
want, that kind of exists in some old not nursery rhymes or Aesop's fables, because those are messed up, but in the Disney
Yes.
version of like what would be a nice childhood, like not a lot of us had that opportunity. So many of us are reparenting ourselves later in life and needing to learn for ourselves.
Oh, that's so true.
Right?
Reparenting ourselves, unlearning, and some of us, how are we mothering ourselves? Because some of us don't know what that looks like. I mean, we had that they did the best that they could with what they had, but
yes. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, what is safe? How do you create safety within yourself, within your realm, within your home, with the family, whether they're by blood or chosen around you, and also make it so that this concept of safety is not something that will keep you restricted to living within a very set comfort zone, so that you don't go out and expand, right?
Yes.
Because then that's not safe. That's fear, right? That's fear. That's apprehension. That's control.
And there's a lot of people moving in fear. How do we become safe within our bodies and then carry that safety with us,
Yeah.
So and that comes to a question that was posed that I heard recently, and I want to ask you about that, and let's come back to safety.
Okay.
This question was the question was today was, I don't know why it's not trying to pop up, but the
Ooh.
question was,
Who would you be if you were uninterrupted?
exactly.
Oh.
So I overheard somebody, saying this, and I said, "Wow, who would you be without like any restrictions? The lights with the red, there was no red lights. The lights were always green for you,
Yeah.
and you had the support. You had all those different things. No outside disturbance. Who would that person be?"
That's a really good question. I want to know who you would be, Mo.
Oh my God! I'm not even gonna lie. If I had no restrictions, I might be free balling. I might be free ball in the streets, living my life. I would just be free balling.
I love
In
that.
a good way. Like I wouldn't want to like be around, like I would just be free balling. Like I just was like, I would be completely free.
Right.
Like
Right.
completely free. Because there would be no distractions. I would tap into all of my talents. I would do there would be no doubt. They would
Yeah.
not even be an inch of like fear, because no one stopped me when we talking about safe. No one stopped me when I was younger and said, "Oh, you're not good enough for this. Oh, you're
Mm,
not this or whatever." Right?
mm,
Society wouldn't have said, I wouldn't be comparing myself to somebody else. I would just do all the things I wanted to do if I was uninterrupted.
mm, mhm.
Who would you be uninterrupted?
I'm just imagining myself reverted as that weird little kid that I was
Mm.
growing up, off the walls. Oh my god, just like walking on my hands,
Yes.
like running around, singing, dancing all the time, drawing stuff, just loving on everybody. I was a
Yes.
little wild child ball of love growing up.
Yes.
Before the before conforming.
Yes, the conformity just like really like ripped so many things away. Like that's
Yeah.
why I always say to people, like, now, even if you're getting older, like let's tap into our inner child. Like, what does that look like? Like, go on a swing and swing. Like, Like you're never too old to do those little things. Like I'm just like, because now we are so serious, and life is just like has put us in a box, in a sense.
Not gonna lie, I do midnight playground runs
Yes,
quite
yes.
quite often. I didn't do it last year, but definitely the year before. And I went down the little kiddie slide, and it had rained earlier that day. I went flying off of that thing. It was great. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, and going on the swings, like, whoo, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like it would be a lot of fun because then you could
It
do all the
would.
things that you wanted to do as a kid, but then you're
Yes.
older so that you can do it and you won't technically get in trouble.
Technically, yeah, technically we wouldn't get in trouble. But
Shouldn't be.
were the things we were doing really that bad, or was it more of like a control, or what the our society and tradition said, oh, that wasn't right, at those times, right? Now maybe free balling might have not been right, but maybe in a diaper, when I was young, maybe in a diaper when I was young. But I'm just saying,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
but just little things like jumping in a whole bunch of balls, and just just doing things that just you could have done when you were a kid, like your parents supporting you
Thank
when
you.
you wanted to draw and you wanted to like do comics and all that stuff, and
Thank you.
the cultural things. They're like, if you're not a doctor or a lawyer, and I'm like, I want to draw, and like they're
Mhm.
like ripping your stuff up. And I'm like,
Mm,
I want to do this, but
yeah.
those are those different things that we dealt with. Like I am a big kid. I have action figures in the house in my office. I
Mm,
have um I have Tanjiro earrings on from Demon Slayer on my ears because
nice.
I love anime. I'm a big anime junkie. Um and I just feel like I feel as I'm getting older, I'm feeling more safer within myself so I can expand this safety where I'm going to. So once
Mm.
again, like uninterrupted person, like it would be fun, but I think should we still have some type of structure? What are your thoughts?
Well, I guess that's the question, right? Because it's like I guess that's where I'm coming from with the whole concept of it would be fun because you'd have the experience and the knowledge of being an adult, but then being able to tap back into whatever that childhood curiosity and enthusiasm is.
Yes.
So like I really love and appreciate my life now because when I need to adult, I can adult. I don't necessarily always want to, but I will, you know.
True, true.
And then when I want to kid out, it's on, and
Exactly.
there's a there's a grace that I've been learning to give myself more of, particularly over the past few weeks as I've been deep diving into this kind of happened with the eclipse opening closing, but there's been a deep dive that I've been doing personally of or an investigation of how how do I love myself more? Like
Mm,
how do I love the parts of me that I even once thought were unlovable? It
mm,
how do I allow and bring more love into the still point, the stillness, to ensure that as I move forward, I'm I'm being fully present and aligned, that I'm not leaving a part of me behind because I'm
mm,
moving forward with an idea that I think is, what it should be or how it should appear.
mm-hmm.
Uh, so yeah, I think that's a really interesting concept of like who would you be if you're interrupted, because that in a way is a little bit like what I feel I've been exploring within myself. It's a little different, but it's kind of close. It's like,
Mm.
how do you excavate this? How do you pull out all the conditions that you were raised with that don't work? Um,
Yeah.
But then also we got to consider that we live in a conditioned society. So there's a navigation that we have to do here. Like we, as
Yeah.
much as we want to be safe, we also do need to discern and do
Yes,
need
we
to
do.
protect ourselves.
We do have to protect ourselves,
You know.
even with cultivating safety.
Mm,
So the reverse question of this, if you were uninterrupted, but what caused you to be interrupted?
the man.
Mm.
They got my
Ah,
grandparents, my parents, they got me, and then put me in school. Like, come on, the man got all of us. Let's
they
face it.
definitely the man if they just allowed the women to just do what they needed to do, the man was like, nah, we got to control all of this shit, like, why, you know we could have been living, we didn't have to struggle, we could have made it work,
Mm,
but man and the ego is a big thing, man. Oh my god, the fight is constant.
that yeah, there's some really strange. I don't know. There's been a noticeable. I don't know. Like it's weird for me to call it an imbalance, but yeah, I agree with you. There's some really. It's an infestation or an insidious, subtle and direct and blatant uh, energy that's been incredibly greedy and hoarding and very unilateral in its vision and very little and no consideration for consequence.
Mm,
And that is incredibly challenging to figure out how to navigate. And be joyful and be love and light and whatever. Like you, we don't live in bubbles as much as we would like to think that your apartment or your home or whatever is a bubble. We are all interdependent. I don't have an answer, but I am just noticing the interruption of
yes.
toxic capitalism,
Yeah.
systemic racism,
Yeah, exactly.
isms,
Sexism, isms,
isms,
all of them.
all isms. But yeah, what do you? Yeah, where are you with that, Mo? You heard me ramble. I want to hear where you're
Um,
at too.
what stopped me? My interruption. Uh, I think it was cultural constructs and traditions and stuff, you know,
Mm.
and people living vicariously through me.
Ooh.
In a sense, or people deciding to pick bits and pieces of me that they thought were okay, or to conform them and shape them in a way that suited them in the best fashion.
Hmm.
And I think that's where my interruption, because me as a child was a giggly, happy. I'm still giggly and happy. I'm still goofy, but a lot of things were suppressed, because of these interruptions. I had to be this certain standard when it came to intelligence. I had to be the certain standard when it came to,
Mm.
dealing with people, dealing
Mm.
with elders, dealing all these different things.
Mm.
At a young age, you had so much responsibility put on you. You're like, when am I allowed to be a kid?
Mm.
you know.
Mm.
So I think those were the interruptions that caused me to be who, and along with society's interruptions of their standard of what women are supposed to be, or what their role in society is supposed to be.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Yeah, that's a whole other podcast in and of itself.
Exactly. So that's a whole nother thing we'll talk about. But
Yeah.
just those were some of the interruptions. So trying to find, like, being in a world that's so unsafe. I think it was unsafe a little bit when we were younger, but not as drastic as it is now. It's even more insane now. We have our unsafety when we
Mm.
were younger. I had some, with my father being murdered when I was younger,
Yeah.
but it's even more. So, like, we live in fear, it's almost like the fear has been imprinted in us while we were
Mm-hmm.
in the womb, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as we're this spiritual Purusha, having this, this we're having these human experiences in this body. We decided some way, somehow, we're going to come down and have these experiences, get our heart torn out of our bodies, cry all day, go through all these trials and tribulations because we want these experiences and they feel so good to us. And then we learn and we grow and there's growth. And we're like, why? Why couldn't I just be floating around, being a soul, being Purusha? Y'all could have stuck me inside of a rock. I'm like, give me a tree. Give me a tree. But anyway.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so we had these human experiences, and before we even, that's why we talk about like kids that already have like trauma before they like came in, they've already been imprinted
Yeah.
on them, like they say, like wolves or animals imprint on the children. But I don't think it's, they know they're going to be like, an animal knows that, like a dog knows they're going to be a dog, right? And it's already imprinted in them. Now the dog could say he wants to be a cat, but biologically that's not fact, but he might say he's a cat. But these things are imprinted on us before we even come out. And we might have this purity and we're just so excited to have this human experience, and then boom, life comes, hits us in our face, trauma, boom, another trauma, boom, now I need to grow up, boom, I never even got a time to even be a kid because I already had to grow up early, so boom, all these different things are coming. And then maybe you have a kid and then you're struggling with that, or then maybe you don't have ability to have a kid, or you don't have a kid and then you're getting pressured about having a kid, like all these different things, and then they want us to find some way to be sane. And then try to live in a capitalist society with an economy that's trash, so like come on, let's
Oh,
you
joke.
like come on, like it's insane. Like we are trying to find, just like what your quote, you have an amazing quote, sis, that you said about carving joy.
Oh,
Yeah,
how do you carve the calm amidst the chaos?
exactly. And that is what I am pursuing. That is what I am continuously doing every day, is to find the calm in this chaos,
Mm-hmm.
because we're living in chaos, but we can find our own calm some way. We can cultivate that. We can create that. We
Right.
we might can't change the way people act, but we can change the way we react and respond to things, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's the only thing we do have control of. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. A couple of things come to mind after hearing you speak, and thank you for
Hmm.
sharing your
Yeah.
thoughts. I appreciate hearing you every time.
Thanks,
Um,
sis, and you too.
yeah, yeah, thank you. But yeah, the creating peace in your ever present moment, which is all that we ever live. The past is just a figment of a memory, and the future is something that literally isn't even here yet. So all we ever have is this lived moment that coincides with everything occurring in the universe in the exact same moment too. So there's uh, I'm reminded of the non-duality meditation
Hmm.
practices, hearing you speak, and in regards to that. And then also when you were talking about imprinting, the first thing I thought of was that rooster that imprinted on a bunch of ducks and now hangs out in the water, which is really fucking funny because I'm born in the year of the rooster too, and I was like, oh yeah, you get that, boy. But the second thing I thought of is how on the maternal lineage,
Mm.
we like you as an egg existed in your mother when she was in utero in the womb of your grandmother.
Mm.
This is where some of the concepts of cellular structure, I've had a lot of conversations with a fellow witch sister, another sister named Bianca, and we've spoken a lot about cellular structure. I know you and I have spoken of this too, and maybe about this exact topic, but this concept of having our DNA be affected or be printed as an affect from some causal experience that occurred prior to our incarnation.
Mm.
Happened to your grandmother or grandfather, and then that gets passed on to offspring, gets passed on to you, and this occurs as a chain. You can go back and back and back and back and back. And there's a meditation that I did during an ancestor raise up spell, which is a 9-day spell that I do over the cusp of right before Lunar New Year, annually. And the first year that I did it, I remember invoking or inquiring, really asking my ancestors, sitting in front of the altar and just asking to go back. And I have anaphasia, whatever that thing is where you can't visualize in your mind's eye. Like I
Oh,
have that, so I
oh,
can't
okay.
see images in my, when people tell me to imagine something, it comes and it goes. It doesn't stay. Um,
Um,
so I don't imagine things like that. But in this meditation, I could see clearly. It looked like it was actually an Aang the Avatar, but
wow.
it was almost like those turning Buddhas, and it was just like, and like parents, then their parents, and then their parents, and then their parents, and it was like this long tunnel that I
Wow.
knew just went back and back and back and back and back. And essentially, I just asked to go back to whatever it was that I was working on, whatever this thing was that was a block,
Mm.
preventing me from harnessing some aspect of success that I could tell was somewhere in here. And just going back real far, and just tears streaming down my eyes as I like went
Wow.
back to the first great, 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 however many grandmother that experienced whatever that harm was, that
Wow.
caused her to essentially bite her tongue, shrink, to get small,
Mm.
to comply. And I just asked for that to be healed, and just crying. So yeah, that we do get imprinted. I believe our cellular structure and our DNA gets imprinted early on, and this is why the more recent neurological studies that speak about the uh, restoration of the telomeres in our DNA, in our chromosomes, the ends of the chromosomes, the last little bit are called telomeres, and those are the parts that tend to fade and get worn away, and they don't copy properly. And
Mm.
if you think about like a Xerox machine, I'm dating myself now. If you think about a Xerox machine, if you
Yeah.
make, and then you make a copy of that copy, you make a copy of that copy, you make a copy of that copy, eventually whatever copy you make is not going to be as pristine as the original printing.
Yes.
With meditation, and it's been proven that with 27 minutes of meditation over, I think it was 27 days, 30 days, there was a noticeable restoration and a regrowth of the telomeres, which are the ends of the chromosomes, making
Wow.
it so that whatever copies your DNA are then creating are essentially higher quality, that you can restore and rejuvenate that. So 2 reasons right there for meditation,
Mhm. Yes.
to practice non-duality, and 2 to get your chromosomes right again.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was my nerd out. There you go.
No, that was so good. Like, I mean, that was amazing. And that leaves that what you stated also leave me in my in the yoga therapy class, they were talking about like Prakriti and Purusha.
mm,
And the Purusha, the soul is constant, right? And then
mm,
when you push the Purusha, push against the Prakriti, that's when you get that chain. And then it goes into the gunas, and they constantly start duplicating different versions. Like you got one plant, but you got different versions of that plant,
yes.
different versions of the same animal in the same family, but it's different. Maybe one
Right.
nail is different, one hand is missing. Like
Right.
me, I was born with 6 fingers, right, on each side, but they cut them off. when I was little. So
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Holy shit, you're like the blessed one.
So I love the science and how you touched on that, sis, because it's important to know that. And the meditation, as you said, we are rebuilding and making better versions of ourselves with this meditation. And we're shifting our DNA, even with the trauma, then the different things that have been imprinted us through our lineage and stuff. But as we start breaking the change, as we start healing, as we start going back, as we start doing this work, you can see a significant change. And sometimes they said, change comes by example. Sometimes, when they people start seeing you change, you start seeing more of the lineage change, and the ancestors are smiling, they're happy,
Oh yeah.
they're like, somebody was strong enough to step, because you're right. A lot of the women in our lineage, their throat chakra was cut off,
Oh yeah.
And a lot of them, even like in Africa, they were getting almost God, what is it called? It's where they take off like the four circumcised. The women were getting,
Yeah.
mutilated,
Oh.
so all these different things, some women didn't have power. They were just, just there to bear the babies, so
Yep.
it's that. And then trying to come from that, because if that's what you were brought up, like, so it's like the woman doesn't say anything, the man does this, so trying to break those, it's hard. So I love the science. I was so excited. I was like, yay.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to share some examples of the control mechanisms that were used along the Chinese culture, a show of status was that had their feet bound. So they literally could not walk. Their feet would be broken and wrapped to be small. And that went that occurred to my great grandmother. My dad's grandmother experienced that. And
wow, I saw a documentary on that. That was harsh, man.
That like, I'm just saying that because that was close.
Well,
That wasn't that far long ago. And then there's also the and then they had the infanticide too of the daughters, the carrying of the wounds of the the yeah. If you're only allowed one kid, you're gonna want a son because he'll carry on the name. So,
and then you had a lot of kids that were like adopted or sent to the U.S. or they were murdered, like, or they had to hide them,
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. So that wasn't that far away either. But yeah, the control of the throat chakra, the control of the sacral chakra.
Yes.
The sexual organs, but most importantly, there's such a correlation to the sexuality of the sacral chakra, but it is literally the womb of our creativity. That's the piece that I feel gets sometimes overshot, because I mean, like, let's face it, there's such a sexualization of like everything, and sex is fun, don't get me wrong, but the creative energy, if there's a staunching of your ability to speak your truth and your ability to create your truth or to move forward with your truth, that's just such a decimation of your will and of someone's, like, it short circuits someone's ability to be their full self. You're forced to be small, you're forced to comply, and it breaks my heart. So, I'm glad that you're you and I'm me, and that we live here for good, bad, or ugly in the US, where we're free range humans ish.
Heavy on the ish.
Heavy on the ish. Yeah, with everything that's happening, dude, with all the laws that are passing unchecked, it is horrifying. But I won't get into it. It's scary. So yeah,
it really is scary. But I mean, like I said, Melina, the information that you drop, you always drop amazing information, and and your thoughts. It's just grateful to be connected with you and doing this. Our first podcast, MoMon, and I hope you all got, some pieces, some jewels that you can take with you. Maybe you might want to journal today, and see what you want to let go of, and ask yourself, who would you be if you were uninterrupted, and then what made you be interrupted? Where did that first start in the beginning?
Yeah.
And if you don't have an altar for your ancestors, maybe think about, if you're open to it, setting up one, and talking to them, asking them for your assistance, as you continue to go through this spiritual journey.
Yeah.
Melina, you open to do a quick little meditation for the people, real
Yeah,
quick?
yeah. I was also just gonna say, like, you can also pour one out for your homies. Like,
Oh
I just did
yeah,
that
exactly.
long ago. Yeah, yeah. Just pour it right on the ground. Hey,
Exactly.
thank you. Offer a little food or well, that you got to do to a tree. But anyways, we won't get into that. But
Yeah, that's the next segment. We'll have
yeah,
the whole
next time.
ancestor stuff.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But yeah, meditation. Something else that I just want to say real quick before we go
Uh,
into a meditation, and thank you for the invitation to do so,
yeah.
is when we practice uh, stilling our mind, which may or may not ever be still. Like the point of meditation isn't to have nothing happening in your head, it's to not be so hooked into every passing thought, every passing sound, and realizing when you get caught into a trail that takes you away from whatever your present experience is. So the beauty of practicing meditation and the importance of having a consistent practice, whatever that means to you, is that when you do get caught up in your feels or in some type of a reaction, there's more of an opportunity that you would have some space and you won't just have blinders on that are so hyper focused on an injustice or something bad or something worrying or something great. Like our ego, our mind loves being fed affirmation, loves being loves confirmation bias. So the practice of meditation is just to give yourself and to recognize the spaciousness of this ever present consciousness where all experiences arise in simultaneously and collectively. So that's another reason to practice, not just to work on cellular structure things, to improve your telomeres, all great reasons that we had shared before. But I guess I just wanted to circle back on how helpful it could be to just, give yourself a few minutes just for you. And that could be really, really precious. So
Definitely. Oh, I felt that.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So you ready to do a little closing meditation, Mo? If it's all right with you, I'd like to guide us into something short.
Yeah, I'm getting myself in position. I'm ready. All
So
right.
take a moment to get yourself into a comfortable position. You can be laying down, you can be seated. Not recommended. I would pause now if you are operating heavy machinery, of course. Um, Feel free to sit on a cushion or on the floor with your feet crossed or your legs in front of you. I'm sitting on a chair with both of my feet planted on the ground. And take a moment to just settle in to your connection with the ground and with the earth. Maybe your back is laying down or your seat is comfortable on this cushion or your chair. And just feel this contact. You can gently close your eyes or keep your gaze soft. And I invite you to place one hand over your heart and one hand over your belly, and to take a nice, even breath in and out at your own pace and time. Breathing in and out. With your hands, try noticing which hand is moving as you breathe. And I invite you, if this works, to try breathing more into the belly. Try and make that hand over your belly raise more as you inhale. And then feeling everything letting go as you exhale. Just breathe for a few moments. If you notice a thought, feel free to acknowledge it. And at any point in time, you can return to your breath, inhaling and exhaling. I'd like to invite us all to bring your attention to your feet. Your feet, your legs, which have carried you this far in life. Pleasant surprises, hardship, achievements, tune in to your connection with the earth through your feet and imagine through your mind's eye, through feeling sensation, or just consider the thought of a beautiful green cord or rope connection weaving through the soles of your feet and entering into the earth below. A direct connection to Mother Earth as you inhale, as you exhale, in your own pace and time. Feel this connection, whatever shape or form it takes, going deep down into the core, that beautiful red magma of Mother Earth. This nourishing connection has existed for your entire lifetime. I welcome you to give thanks to the earth, to this connection, to this feet, to your body, which has been with you for the entirety of your experience. Follow these green tendrils going back up, feeling that warm connection from Mother Earth following, filling your feet. Maybe you feel a warm or tingle sensation through your feet and your ankles. Maybe you don't. Maybe you see something, maybe you don't. It's all good. Imagine, consider this nourishing energy from Mother Earth filling up your feet, up your ankles, through your legs, into your knees, up into your thighs, into your hips, pooling into your waist. Breathing in and feel this nourishing energy filling up, fueling your entire torso with this warm, loving energy, filling up through your heart, into your shoulders, pouring down into your hands, back into your heart and your belly. Feel this filling up into your neck, into your head. Perhaps you feel your third eye glowing. Feel this energy pouring up and out through your crown. I invite you to see, consider, or imagine a pooling waterfall, a fountain of beautiful white golden light shining up and out through the top of your head, your crown chakra, raining down all around you. This nourishing energy from the earth shines up and through and out and all over you, surrounding you as it has and always will. Bathe in this. Saturate yourself. Take whatever you need. With each inhale and each exhale. Stay here as long as you want or wish, and know you can return here whenever you please. When you feel this meditation is complete, I invite you to wiggle your fingers and toes, maybe move your hands down to your legs or down to your sides if you're laying down. You can gently flutter your eyes open. If you're seated, I invite you to roll your neck to side, maybe roll your shoulders or your arms, move your waist. If you're laying on your back, I invite you to roll to your side in fetal position, the position of rebirth. And take a moment there before you gently roll yourself up. And whenever we're all ready, you can return to the here and now, carrying this nourishing, loving earthly connection forever and always in your heart, in your body, with your mind, and in your soul. Thank you so much. Ashe.
Ashe. Wow. That was amazing. Thank you, Melina. Oh my God. I hope you all were nourished with that meditation. This is the beautiful things that you get here at MoMon. You have beautiful meditations, you have beautiful conversations, and hopefully you are renewed today. Hopefully you have a new perspective on life through our conversations and through the meditation, and you find a bit of yourself through our conversation.
Or you just thought it was funny. That's good too.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be all that deep. We're just a bunch of silly bitches.
We are very silly. Yes. Yes.
Excuse me.
But yes, this is we're unfiltered and we love it. And join us next time with new topics, new jokes, new meditations, and lots of laughs and smiles.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have any questions or any feedback or comments, feel free to send us an email over at momonpodcast@gmail.com. Once again, that's MoMon, MoMon podcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. And yeah, I think that's all I got. Thank you so much, Mo. You're such a beauty and a delight. I'm so grateful for this time with you. Thank you for sharing your gifts, your conversation, and your affirmation today. It's so profound and perfect and such divine timing.
Oh man, I'm just grateful to be with you, my sister. You're amazing. We're over here being just, Wonder Twins out here, killing it, So this is what we do, and I'm just so great that we were able to give birth to this. Yay! It's our first one. Woohoo! All right, everybody. May you be well.
Yeah, bye. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Okay. I'm hitting end recording. Okay.